What's up, guys? Welcome back to Snoopshow. We're in the tub today for Fat Loss Fridays, talking about how to burn fat with cold thermogenesis. All right, here we are at the freezing bathtub. We've got got 20 pounds of ice in here that I've been let sit for about 5 or 10 minutes till it all mixed in. You can see there's a couple chunks left here. I don't know if you can see that. So it's pretty dang cold, so let's get this started, huh? Woohoo! Just the camera so I can talk to you guys a little bit. Woo! All right, so this is indeed Fatburn Fridays, and we are talking about the benefits of freezing ice rinses. Now, you guys are probably going to tear me apart in the comments because you're going to say, oh, you didn't fill up the water high enough. Well, you know what? Why don't you take an ice bath and fill it up all the way next time, all right? Huh? So here we are. I'm going to talk about the benefits. So you might be wondering, how can sitting in freezing water help me burn fat? I'm going to tell you how. Through a process called cold thermogenesis. What happens is that when you're in freezing temperatures, whether you're in cold water or really cold winds or snowy Arctic conditions, your body actually thinks that you're about to freeze to death. Obviously, we need to maintain a body temperature around 98.5 degrees in order to survive. When our environment gets significantly colder than that, it becomes a threat to our survival. So what we have to do is find ways to create our own body heat to bring us back to a warmer temperature. So, by exposing yourself to freezing ice-cold waters, your body actually thinks that you're in dangerous frigid conditions. So, what it does in order to create its own warmth is it burns its most efficient fuel source, which, as if you've been keeping up with my other videos, you know by now is fat. You might think, well, why is it going to burn fat? It could burn carbohydrates from your diet that you've eaten that day, or maybe stored glycogen in your muscles or your liver, or even breaking down muscle tissue in terms of amino acids and turning that into glucose for energy. Well, it turns out that protein and carbohydrates only give you 4 calories per gram. That means that for every gram of either an amino acid complex or any type of simple or complex carbohydrate molecule, you're only going to get 4 calories of energy. A fat molecule, on the other hand, gives you 9 calories per gram, over twice as much energy per gram. So what the body does is it thinks, okay, how can I burn fat efficiently? Well, it turns out that most stored body fat is what we know as white adipose tissue. This is what you see in obese individuals or anyone even just storing a couple extra pounds on their body. But what most people don't know is we actually have another type of fat called brown adipose tissue. And the reason it's brown is because it's so mitochondrially dense. And this means that inside of the cells, there are so many mitochondria that the energy needs for that cell are extremely high. So the more brown fat we have, the more white adipose tissue we can burn and the leaner we ultimately become. Well, it turns out that the formation of brown adipose tissue is actually triggered and augmented by cold exposure, which is how things like cryotherapy and shiver walks and ice rinses and ice baths can actually help you produce more brown adipose tissue and burn more fat. Now, at this point, you guys would probably still look at me and you're like, oh, he doesn't look like he's having that hard of a time. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't fill up the thing high enough. So it's really cold. I'm not going to lie. I probably should get it. You want me to get a lower? A little lower? All right, I'll get a little lower. All right. Woo! All right. Can you guys hear me still? All right, cool. So some other benefits while I'm in here of cold exposure are not just fat loss. I've actually done some research to find that it seems that testosterone and growth hormone are actually increased as well during cold exposure, which means that by doing this a couple times a week, not only are you going to be burning pounds and pounds of fat, you're actually going to increase your testosterone and growth hormone levels, which will allow you to build more muscle, which will ultimately allow you to burn even more fat, which is awesome. In addition to that, it also can increase levels of brain-derived nootropic factor, which, as you guys know, is essentially a steroid for the brain, which is going to improve memory, sleep, and cognitive function. Cold exposure in general also lowers markers of inflammation in the body, which means if you're having issues with joint pain or neural inflammation or just inflammation in general, it helps bring those down so that your body can recover faster and not be in a high cortisol state. Another cool benefit of cold exposure is that what it does is that, you know, when you're out and you're shivering outside in the cold and you feel like your body gets really tight, it actually is. And what's happening there is that in order to conserve body heat, your body is actually constricting the blood vessels of your periphery. This means your arms, your legs, your toes. This is why your fingers and toes get cold first, is because they are the furthest from the heart. Most of your vital organs are located in the center of your body, and so to protect them, your body pulls as much circulation as possible into the middle of your body. So what it does is creates this squeezing effect. And what that squeezing does is it pushes lactic acid that's built up in the muscles from your resistance training workouts. It pushes that out and allows the lymphatic system to drain that away. And this actually helps you recover faster from your workouts and reduce that delayed onset muscle soreness that you usually get about 36 to 48 hours after a heavy workout. Another benefit, in addition to the fat loss that I was talking about earlier, the formation of brown adipose tissue is because it's going to increase the thermogenesis, which is going to burn off more of your fat cells. These fat cells are going to be broken down into what are called ketones. Now, if you watch my last video from last week's Fat Burn Friday, you know all about how ketones are amazing fuel for the brain and especially are the way to go if you're trying to lose weight or increase your performance in general. So not only are you going to improve your body composition by exposing yourself to cold, but you're also going to be improving your mental performance, your physical performance, and your sleep. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I know you guys are going to be all up on my ass about how I didn't fill this thing up high enough. I swear to you, it's freezing cold. Next time, if I ever do this again and I never make another video for you guys, I will fill it up all the way, I promise. If you're doing this, I absolutely suggest doing this. Don't underestimate how much water is going to move when you get into the bathtub. It's not as significant as you think. So, that being said, please subscribe and click that little bell next to there if you want to keep up with my videos. I put out about 2 or 3 per week. So if they're helpful to you, please let me know. Give me some feedback, tell a friend, like it, leave a comment, and subscribe. So I will talk to you guys next time.